Here we go, everyone. Welcome back. BRL round 10, the finale for season 3. We've already had a decider in the championship. Both championships, drivers and constructors, as Mercedes have taken that one. Flicks won the drivers' championship and Mercedes won the constructors. But today we have the return of the former world champion Louis, who's having his final race in BRL today, and then potentially retiring permanently. We're not too sure, but as you may know, the regs are changing and we're moving on to the 26 regulations. So this is the final race in BRL history in these cars, and the first car out to start the run will be Lachlan, who's back with us. And we do have both Ferraris today, both Red Bulls, both Williams, as Marco returns, and a single McLaren as well. And here we go. What time is Lachlan going to set? And it's not going to be a good one, because he's already got onto the grass and made a mistake there. Marco here has also invalidated his lap, but the first across the line with a valid lap was Lachlan, a 1:17.6. He did make the mistake, but he did keep it within the white line, so that's on the board, and it's important to get one. And only one person completed a lap. Two people have completed a lap, and that's AYMERIC with 1:08.3. That's the benchmark for pole position, as the McLaren driver has set one. Here we go then, towards the line. What is Marco going to produce for us? It's been a while. Oh, it's only going to be second fast. He's got the fastest second sector, but the first and third was still putting him 2 seconds behind. Not sure whether that was just a glitch with the sectors, because sometimes it shows a purple sector and they've not actually gone that fast. We're going to have a Ferrari to start their next lap, which is Alfie. Louis currently on one. He's got a purple sector one already as the former world champion. And we've got Exy, who's got a fastest second sector, is going to make his way to the line. We know he's got some pace. He's gotten a podium before, and he's going to put the car second fastest, not too far away, just under a tenth to the McLaren. You know, the Williams have got a good set of drivers. He will be the next one to cross the line. A little bit on the grass on exit of the final corner, and to the line it's going to be third fastest, 1:90. So puts into perspective on how fast these drivers are. And to the line, I'm not sure. Yes, Lachlan set another lap. This one's invalid, but I think it doesn't matter anyway, because he won't get to do one. But it's only 1:09.1, and also to the line Alfie goes to go fifth fastest in the Ferraris, a 1:09.5. Both Red Bulls are yet to set a lap, and this is important, because if Josh wants to get second in the championship, he's going to have to make qualifying count and the race count. And also Red Bull have a chance to go ahead of Ferrari in the constructors, but it's going to be a very difficult task, so they're about 15 points behind. But Christian to the line, what lap time's he going to set? It's going to be sixth fastest, 1:10.0, and Josh is going to be the first. This is going to be his first run of the session, but now his time for redemption. He has gotten some new pedals, so he shouldn't have that problem. To the line, he's going to go second fastest. Oh, that was a close one. Not much in it to AYMERIC, as he's gone purple in the final sector, but AYMERIC is also on a lap of his own. He's 2/10 up on his personal best and currently provisional pole. And AYMERIC, but AYMERIC to the line is going to be another pole lap, and it's going to be a 1:08.09. It's 2.5 tenths faster than Josh's fastest lap. He's going to be coming into the pit lane now. I just wonder how close. As he gets to the line, where we're going to see him improve to is only about, oh, it's not far off, you know, roughly half a tenth off Exy. This could be a smashing race we've got coming up for us, as Flix is also on his run. And Alfie's got the fastest second sector out of everyone, and he is 7 tenths up. They could be looking at a time close to his teammate here. But coming to the line, where we're going to see the Ferrari, he's going to move up a spot here. It's going to be fifth fastest, 1:08.9. It seems a lot of drivers getting fastest in the second sector, but not going as fast on their first and final sector. Flix He's currently got 53.5 for his second sector. And going to the line, I'm not sure where that sits in comparison to the rest of the grid, but it's going to be pretty decent, I would imagine, for someone of his standards. To the line, are we going to see the world champion to the top step? No, 7th fastest. The time is way off it for the moment at 109.7 as he sits 7th. Here we go, to the line anyway. Lachlan, is he going to improve enough to jump Alfie? He does, an 0.87. He goes 5th fastest as Lachlan. He's a bit off the pace for the moment, quite a bit off, but it's not too bad. We're going slow, but that's fine, he's still going. Here we go, Exy to the line. Will this be provisional pole for the Williams? And it won't be. He did improve by a 10th, and he jumps the Red Bull of Josh, but it's not enough for pole position, it seems. He's going to have to recharge and go again, or that is his qualifying over, and he finishes qualifying 2nd, and will start 2nd on the grid. But we know Josh coming out of the pit lane now. As you can see, his car going down the pit lane. He's going to have one final run too. AYMERIC also coming out. Not sure what cars are actually on fast runs here. Christian is, and so is Marco, but he's gone off the circuit. It's not invalid as he's lost time. He's 5 tenths up, but to the line he's going to lose maybe 3 tenths just from that mistake alone. Is he going to even improve? And he might jump Christian here. Oh, and he ended up losing over half a second, and that lap isn't valid, and that's going to be the end of his qualifying. Marco starts 9th out of the points. I think Lachlan completed a lap, was the 2nd off the pace. Christian to the line, improves by 1.3 seconds and goes 5th fastest. It's a brilliant lap for him as he moves halfway up the order. Enough to frighten anyone for pole position. Lachlan darts out of the way. He was impeding slightly there. Flicks to the line, is going to stay 8th fastest. And to the line, Exy goes. He can't improve. Louis disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous position. I'm not sure what's going on. Here comes Josh to the line. He's 2.5 tenths up. Could this be pole position for just his 2nd fastest? And that's really unfortunate, as he's only gone 2nd fastest. He's just under a 10th away from pole position. That's the end of qualifying. Louis been disqualified for parking in a dangerous position. So there we go. Here we go then. End of the formation lap. 9 drivers on the grid. And AYMERIC is going to be on pole for the first ever time in the McLaren. It's going to be Josh lining up beside him. Exy is going to start 3rd. Christian 4th, one of his best qualifying sessions of the season. Lachlan the same in 5th. Alfie in 6th. Flicks a shocking 7th. Marco 8th on his return, and the world champion starts from last, or the former world champion starts from last because he was disqualified for parking in an unsafe position. Here we go then, the final race of season 3 of BRL. 5 red lights are out, and away we go. Off the line, it's a good start by AYMERIC, and I think Josh has gotten a good one as well, but he's not able to go for a move. Up on the inside is a massive crash in the background, and that's the Aston Martin of Lachlan going straight on. There's a car gone round. Flicks has gone round in the background. It's a bit of a mess off the start. Some cars have damaged, some cars are through, and AYMERIC has kept out of the mess by starting in the lead and having a good enough start. Josh is following. Alfie's up into the podium places. Exy and Marco, who's jumped up all the way from 8th to 5th. And Flicks has damage back there, I believe, which is not going to do him any good. He may have to come in early, but the cars are opting for either the soft or medium tyre. Josh has damage off the start as well. I think he got bumped in the rear, which caused him to go into someone else, and I believe it would be AYMERIC as he was the car in front. But here comes Alfie, who's going to cause him some problems. Behind we have Christian, who also has damage, both Red Bulls. Marco's gone off wide off the circuit, and now there's a big pack of cars. This is going to be great racing. Josh decides to not go into the pit lane. Maybe there's not enough damage to cause himself any problems. And there's a pit lane penalty for a few cars there as they come in to change front wing damage. And that's Christian and Marco. And Flicks has continued on. He hasn't got any damage. He was just spun round off the start. Hards on Christian's car and hards on Marco's. Josh going into turn 1. It's now up to P5, the fastest lap, going for AYMERIC. And round the outside, we're going to see Exy go of the Ferrari of Alfie. He makes contact again, damaging that wing even more. Is he still making contact? Is he going to find a way through now then? Down the straight, he's going to have the DRS advantage and he's going to be by the Ferrari quite easily there. But it did cause some contact beforehand and just a little bit of breathing room for Josh. He's now catching back up to AYMERIC. These are close. So here's something for you. The former world champion, Louis, is coming at Alfie, his teammate, in his final race. He's going to go around the outside. Doubt they're going to fight this very hard, as they won't want to crash into each other. They're wheel to wheel, very close, and Louis' bike's a beautiful move around the outside. And that's exactly something he can do. Now down the straight, he's going to want to catch up as best as possible. Flicks is out of the Grand Prix, and that is a safety car. I think he's crashed into the pit wall. And I believe that's a safety car. As Christian's coming by, we can't see the car, but it is a safety car. Now, this could mean that some drivers are back into play, and Marco has come into the pit lane then. So he's just pit onto the hards. Maybe he's going to pit off them, go to the softs, and maybe go back onto the hards again to the end. I'm not too sure what his plan is, but this safety car has come in clutch for some of the cars behind, as it brings them back into play a little bit. But now we'll see. Cars with damage should pit stop. Continue on. XC continues on despite his damage to the front wing as well. Louis and... oh no, it was just a VSC. So the drivers continue on, and Alfie's actually going to get his teammate off the restart. It's a brilliant restart from the Ferrari on his other Ferrari teammate, and he's gone wide. Louis pushed him off the circuit. He joins back on almost dangerously and comes into the side pod of his teammate, but no damage for either car. And now that's going to open the door for Lachlan, who's going to want to move. These two are teammates next year in Ferrari, replacing Louis. And we may just see a fierce battle opening, as they've had ones in the past. Lachlan is going to try get this move as best as he can. He's going to want to fight as many points for Aston Martin as he can. They made contact. That's something we've seen many times before. And Lachlan's broken his front wing just from that happening. These two come together often, and it's happened again here in Sao Paulo. The Aston Martin and Ferrari collide to give Louis some breathing room up ahead. But the front runners all have stayed as they are. But AYMERIC has a huge gap, and he could be in the running for a win today. Seems 3.5 second gap between Lachlan and Louis. Is one of them going to go into the pit lane? Alfie is coming in, I suppose, off the soft tyres. I don't think he's got any damage. Comes in, no pit lane penalty there. Marco has served his penalty in the pit lane, which is good news for him. So he can go to the end without that penalty. Turn 2, but out of turn 3, he's going to drive all the way to the left. These two are giving us a nice battle. To the outside, Alfie's going to go. They're going to make contact wheel to wheel. They do make contact, and Alfie's gone straight on, touching the grass and losing the rear, but no damage to either car. Fortunately enough for the both of them, they're going to be able to continue on, but Alfie is going to feel hard done by that defending from Christian. We know he's a robust defender, and he can stop you if he wants to. What happened here so far in Sao Paulo? Already into the pit lane. Well, I shouldn't say already. It's probably the pit window's open for these two drivers. Josh, on his final race for Red Bull, comes in. He's not going to change his front wing. Maybe he's decided it's not damaged enough. XC's going to come in off the medium tyres for the hard set. Who's going to move up into second place? And Christian and Alfie are battling away here. But Christian's the one who has DRS and managed to get by anyway, so he's going to keep the position. Coming out of the pit lane, though, are we going to see them interfere with this here? No, they're out in free air. It's dead in the middle of the race. So we've got a yellow flag, and Marco has retired from the Grand Prix. I think he's hit the wall down the straight, and I think it's a safety car, as we've got 2 DNFs in this session. And that's unfortunate, as he's returned back for his final race of season 3. He will be back next season, so we're not saying goodbye to Marco. But that is unfortunate for his race. He's the only driver who hasn't scored points this season, I believe, unless again I'm wrong. But there we go. Louis come into the pit lane. under the safety car and change on to hard tyres. Going to be quite nice for him. Going to go straight to the end, no problems. And he's going to be up to P2. And that's really unfortunate for the likes of the Red Bull with damage and the Williams with damage also. And they've gone past the safety car, but there's Delta. And also into the pit lane comes Alfie and Christian. And Christian's serving his penalty there, so he's going to drop down a place. So we've got 7 left now with nearly half the race to go. I'm not sure whether he's going to lose the lead. He's gone into the pit lane tentatively. Cautious, not going to want to get a penalty. I believe he will be ahead. It's going to be close. Louis now coming around the final corner. Will we see him ahead? No, because he's got Delta. AYMERIC's going to get this done quite nicely. Rising as Red Bull in Season 1. It was just me. But here we go. Safety car is in this lap. So depending on when AYMERIC wants to go, he will. And he's going to have to wait for the safety car to actually enter the pit lane, but all the cars will be stacking up behind him and waiting for him to go. AYMERIC's chance to move up in the championship, up a place over XE, is now up to 7th in the championship, as he's only driven 3 Grand Prix. And Christian's left, he must have lagged out. AYMERIC's gone now, so as we restart the Brazilian Grand Prix, it's going to be an excellent start behind for XE on Josh, but it's not happened for a move, and he's gone around the outside there. Is he going to be able to make this move stick, the Williams driver? It's going to be close. Lachlan's trying to find a move around the outside, but can't. There's going to be a drag race down to turn 4. Who's going to get it here? That's Josh managed to stay ahead, and there was contact between Lachlan and XE, and Lachlan goes straight on. Alfie's picked up the move and continue on going just of pure cautiousness. And Christian, lagged out, is now going to have to try and return. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. I'm not sure what for, as there's nothing going on in Sector 3. Not sure why it's saying that in the top left, ignore it. We've got 10 laps to go of this Grand Prix. And we're going to see who's going to win this one. There's not much of a gap between Louis and AYMERIC. Louis is going to be able to go for a move here. Is he going to do it on the McLaren and potentially ruin his day? Here comes Louis to the outside. Is he going to go for a diving wheel? That's optimistic round the outside. He's going to swing back to the inside. Look for the door. That isn't open. Christian's car's headed into the pit lane as he's AI mode. But here we go. Louis going to have DRS. Is he going to go for the move? Obviously he will. To the outside. He's actually going to be by the McLaren. Past turn 4, he didn't even have to attempt the dive bomb, as he was already by before the braking zone. And Josh is now coming close to AYMERIC, and they make contact. That could have ended poorly for the both of them, but fortunately both drivers had great control. XE going to go for the dive bomb. The Williams driver is going to get the move. No, not this time around. He's going to swing to the inside. He's going to be able to go for a chance at getting the move. No. It's excellent racing from these lot. Elbows out, and Louis is in the lead of the Grand Prix after that move. Nearly a second to separate him and AYMERIC. If Louis starts from last after, well, technically qualifying 4th, but getting disqualified for parking in an unsafe position and wins the Grand Prix, that is something else from the Ferrari driver. But I'll tell you something. Josh is in trouble from XE. XE to the outside of turn 1. Josh is going to lock up and nearly make contact with the Williams driver. Just had to steer a bit narrow onto the inside, but he's got the move and he's kept 3rd place. But now XE is going to be compromised to Alfie behind. And now who's going to be ahead going into turn 4? Alfie's got the move done, and XE's dropped down. This is like F1 26. This is like the 26 regs just with 25 cars. Everyone just swapping places. Christian's out on the soft tyres. His car's completing a lot of the race himself. He's going to have to join back at some point. Not going to be close enough for a move yet. These two are going at it for P4. XE has gotten past Alfie. Up to P4. It's good racing by these lot for the finale. Is he going to go for a move? To the outside he's going to go. Is he going to go for a dive? No, he's just going to be quite content and waiting. Here we go then. The Ferrari to the next straight into turn 4. Is he going to go for the move around the outside? They make contact and Louis broken his end plate as AYMERIC's come across to defend him. Here comes Louis. Is it going to be this time for the Ferrari? Lap 21. Round the outside. Oh, they're going to bang wheels and Louis goes off the circuit. That's reminiscent of Max and Lewis in 2021. But he's going to go for the switcheroo. He's going to go on the racing line. These two coming so close together. It's brilliant racing. But and Exy's going to go down the inside. It's a brilliant dive bomb. It's aggressive. Elbows out. He's going to give his rival the room, but he's going to get the move anyway. It's a brilliant move from the Williams driver. But Josh is going to be coming back here to the inside. The Red Bull's going to go. The next Mercedes is going to push him out wide. They're almost going to wheel lock there, but Josh is back through and up to third place. We'll keep him down. As the DNF, Laughlin's gone wide. He just made the move on Alfie, but he's gone wide. And he's still ahead, but these two are going to battle to the end of the race. Ooh! And Alfie just showed him the elbow as he went through. I'm going to have to switch back to the McLaren, who's going to cross the line to win his first ever Grand Prix. AYMERIC wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix for McLaren. Louis comes home, starting last a few seconds. There's going to be a drag race to the line, and Josh has done it for third place. And the Williams driver, Exy, has finished 4th. Lachlan grabs 5th and Alfie 6th. And Christian will be put down as a DNF. What a race by the drivers, and that is it for season 3.